Okay, hey everybody. This is Grace. I'm on my way to do what I'm doing these days for healthcare insurance. I think I mentioned it one time on this channel. I started doing it in July of last year, like the worst month too. The end of the month in July. And anyway. Yeah, and I'm doing it for healthcare. I live in Texas, north of Dallas. And I'm a 60-year-old. I've been a homemaker for years, not working outside of the home. And last year I had to go to the hospital. Didn't have health insurance. I had to go 3 times. They basically did nothing. Heard a lot of crickets when I would ask questions, and overall, that's all I heard, really. The rest of it was just non-answer answers. For the most part, and with all this, was not worth anything for me. They really didn't. And so I figured I had better get health insurance in case I have to go back. And I called for the Affordable Care, right in Texas. Did I mention I'm in Texas? Expect me to say that quite often. And then basically, I have to earn a certain amount of money in order to be able to get it. And I have to prove to the government that I can get it. I'm not an expert on how that works, so that's just my shortened version of it. And last year I wasn't able to make it. This year's looking very effy. And tomorrow I actually have to go to see H&R Block, which is one thing I don't want to ever do. And go tomorrow and see if I'm going to basically lose every penny that I earned with that. It's not about the money, it's that I have to prove to the government that I earned it. And I canceled it last year after 2 months. 2 months and a few days. And that totaled up to be around $2,000. Yeah, if not more. I'll find out tomorrow. Maybe, they might string it along for days, weeks. I'm already late. I didn't know it. To pay my taxes, so yeah. And so anyway, this year I'm going to try. It's already April, so really haven't made much because of my health. It's such a vicious cycle. I need health insurance. This is Texas, remember. I need health care insurance, but because of my health. But because of my health, it makes it difficult for me to work. Because one big part of it is edema, the swelling of the ankles, the bottom of my legs, the feet, and it makes it very hard for me to work any job. So I'm reduced to one that I can go home, I can just not work at all or go home when I want to as an independent contractor, and there was basically not enough time to do anything else, to find anything else. And I've tried through certain ways that should be help, but they never have been. So this time not help either. Wasting my time and raises my blood pressure. I'm leaving out things on purpose, and I probably will continue to. But now, are you ready to find out what it is? I think I've already mentioned it, like I said. Yeah, I'm doing these food delivery things. I go to a restaurant, pick up some ice. I make my own decision which ones I want to take. And I'm not sure if anybody's going to go here. But, it takes some offers. If I get a good offer to go out and pick up somebody's lunch for them and then drive it to wherever they are at the time. Really, that's what I'm reduced to. Like Uber Eats, and they have so many different ones. And yeah, it's kind of interesting to me because my master's degree is in sociology, and my degrees are in psychology and sociology, so it's actually kind of fun for me. Seriously. Adam was going with me at first. He still does because he works from home. He's an electrical engineer, but he keeps saying, I'll just pay for it. He doesn't realize how crazy it is. Or maybe I'm just being stubborn. I like to take care of myself. I'm not on any disability, even though I have, health issues that have been determined as makes me disabled. It has for many years, for decades. I've never been on any. I'm not complaining about anybody who is. That's their business, not mine. Mine is my business, not theirs. So, all right, is everybody going to stop right here? I've been stuck before, so. But anyway, so I do. It's kind of, like I say, it's kind of fun. It really is, because I was telling Adam, now I'm not much of a gambler. Okay, I'm not much of a gambler, but when I first started doing this, Adam went with me for safety reasons and for me to learn, the ropes, I guess, how to do it all and everything. And so he went with me, so I could get all comfortable with it. And at one point I said, do you realize this feels kind of like gambling? Now, neither one of us are types to go gambling. We're just not. And we have been, with my sister. I used to go like once a year. I haven't been in probably 10, I don't know how many years, because I wasn't a gambler. We would go like once a year, once 2 years, once 3 years, whatever. And but it kind of feels like that, because it's not something that you know what's going to come up next, or from which restaurant, going into which house, going to which town, going how many miles. It's just not something that's there. It's like gambling. I'm going to say you, and I don't mean you, but it's easier for me to do it that way. It's my habit. But you don't know. You don't know what's going to roll up, on the cell phone. Is it going to have some stupid one like $4 to go 20-something miles? I had that today, and all I do is say, just push the X, and that's a decline. I'm not doing that. But overall, I've had some really interesting ones. Like I said, I started last July. I've had some funny ones. I've had some, some scary ones, like the roads were scary. And when Adam goes with me, we usually go at dark. At some point it's dark. Usually we go in the evening and it turns dark. And we've had some scary ones like that. One, really, it was scary movie, kind of scary. And I had one today when I was by myself during the daytime. And I kept saying, do not go in there. People would be yelling, just like the other day, do not go in there. It was a road out in the country, surrounded by lots of ranches around here. So it's not too unusual to be around ranches. And it was just a gravel road. And it went on and on and on. And at the end of it was these, I don't even know what you would call them, but they're, I don't even know what you would call them, what they're made out of. It's buildings that aren't made of wood or brick. It's buildings. And they were doing some kind of manufacturing, maybe. I don't know. Because I could see through one of the things that was open, and it was like, none of that stuff, I would not know what any of that is. Lots of people worked there, kind of really rough looking people. And I just sent her a message saying there's no parking place. There wasn't, but way down the road, and I wasn't going to walk way down that gravel road. I mean, it was a long gravel road. It was a long one. And overall, it was just kind of spooky. Because a person could get lost out there. Reminded me of something I saw when I was young. A person could get lost out there. Like I said, yeah. But anyway, I'm here. It's 5:04 p.m. and I'm going to see what I can do here. So maybe I'll get some money to pay for my health insurance. Did I mention I live in Texas? Yeah. Okay, I'll do a little bit of a vlog before I get to where I'm going. And that depends on how long I'll be there. It depends on how it goes. Anyway, I was supposed to have an appointment today and yesterday too. Let me back up. The day before, today is April 3rd, so on April Fool's Day, I went to an ER because something that happens quite often. I mean, every year, usually in the summer. I'm not going to go into all the details, but I work to get this health insurance, and it's supposed to be the best in Texas through the Affordable Care. Maybe they say that on all of them. I've looked online and all this stuff, but anyway, I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, when I went to the ER, it was a disaster, really. All the 3 people that were in there that worked there, I don't know what was any of their titles, really. Well, I do now, but 2 of them I still don't. 1 of them I do, 2 of them I don't. But they were all talking at the same time and talking over me. When one would ask me a question and I would go to answer, the others would start talking. I actually told them, stop. Y'all are going too fast. And they just back and forth, and it was not good at all. And then I made an appointment with my provider. Let's just put it that way. Okay, you are going over the line. We're texting, and this going much faster than this road is allowed. So, what is that noise? Today must be the first Wednesday of the month. Yep, the sirens are going off, being tested. I heard the noise. Anyway. It was just so bad. Then I had an appointment for yesterday to go see see my health provider. It's not a doctor, but anyway. And I couldn't sleep at night. I was just so ticked off about how I'm having to work for this health insurance, and it's hard for me to work because of the health conditions I have. Make it even worse. And it was just, oh my gosh, my brain just couldn't believe all this stuff that I go through with health, So then later on I said, that's it. I canceled the appointment, and they said they opened up at 7:30, but they actually opened up at 8, so I was on hold from 3 minutes after 7:30. Yeah, and I was determined, because I had stayed up, a good chunk of the night. I was determined that, I was going to get, okay, I was here, so I'll go. How about that? I don't know. They actually, I think, should go. But it's only a 2-way. I don't know about that situation, because everybody there, I don't know that. If it's not a 4-way stop, is the person who's going straight forward the one who gets to go if the other one is turning? Is it the first person who's at the stop sign? I really don't know. I know it's a 4-way, but I don't know when it's 2. Huh. I need to check that out. Because they just paused, so I went ahead and went. They kept pausing, so I'll just go. Okay. But I'm glad nobody else was coming, or that would have been a disaster. They need to put a light there. They just finished all that road and all that. They needed a light there. It's always needed a light there. But anyway, so it was my bad if not. Anyway, you hear the alarm? Yeah. Anyway, where was I with all this? Okay, what a disaster. But anyway, so I had that appointment I canceled with the healthcare provider, and I just felt I can't do this anymore. My appointment with her my next appointment isn't until 3 months, but I'm not anymore. But right now, I mean, it's more like an expression. I can't do this anymore, but that means right now for me, and I can't. I can wait 3 months. I don't want to have. I told Adam, I don't even say anything about healthcare. Nothing. I don't want to talk about it. He was just telling me he has an appointment. I don't want to talk about any of it ever. No, I have to say this. Do people know how to drive? Do they really need so much room between them? You can't see how far that is. And I'm not right on their tail, but I have it zoomed in. But really, do they really need that much room between them so that the line that's waiting behind them at the turning signals and the drive-thrus and whatever, people are having to wait, back up? So many people are out to the street, this kind of thing. Come on, really? Do you have a brain, or are you sitting there texting? Oh my goodness, I see this every day because what I do for a living. I'm driving. Yeah, not a living. That's just an expression I use. Everybody uses, don't they? But do for health care insurance, which is what this is about. So I didn't want to have to do anything anymore concerning, for until my next appointment. Don't want to think about it. Don't want to think about anybody. Nope. This, of course, is, I have to. It's the same person who's causing the backup. The person who, I think it was the same one that was on the road. Okay, I can't back up. No. Okay. Yeah, the same, it was, I drove past her. It was a woman, and it had some kind of, where you usually have something for, or they used to, I don't know if they still do, if you're disabled, underneath your rearview mirror. And she had something under that, and I kind of got the feeling it wasn't about disabled, it was something else, being disabled. Not being disabled, but something else. There. Anyway, it just totally threw me off, and the person in front of him and the woman at the cash, drive-through cashier, she was upset. Why is this woman doing this? I said, she upset me since I turned into the road. Not upset, but was annoying. That's what I said, annoying since then. She doesn't know how to drive, and I'm thinking it's one of those, I don't know, temporary kind of thing. Or driving in this country, that kind of thing. Not licensed in this country. I don't know. But anyway, they change things every time you turn around. Some places change things every time you turn around. Anyway, my goodness. So anyway, I didn't want to deal with it. I go back to sounding a little dramatic, because anytime I deal with people who are situations that are so dramatic, it's like they make them purposefully so filled with problems. Okay, so much that there's no way you can talk about it without having a little bit of that in your voice, because they make it so dramatic. Oh my gosh, I mean, really, this is just was too much with this healthcare crap. Seriously, for the past few years especially. I'm not new to this world at all, so it's nothing I'm new to. We can go back decades. Yeah, decades, when you're old enough to talk about decades. And it just worsened. It's just so much worsened. And so I don't want to deal with it. I just wanted to, I take my medications, of course. And if anything comes up and I have to, I'll go to the hospital. Fine. I know which one not to go to. Which ones not to go to. And, if it's a have to, yeah. But other than that, I don't want to hear from them. I don't want to talk about it, whatever. Unfortunately, I'm being hit by phone calls of people claiming to be from the marketplace, but they're not. And I have told all of them that I'm reporting them, and I do report. I have a little button just says report. Not that it does any good, but they keep calling and calling and calling. And then today, I had an appointment to have with someone or some place where they do, I'm not going to name the name, but work on your taxes, because I tried to do, I didn't earn much last year, and I'm talking like maybe a little bit over 2,000 or 2,500. I don't know, I haven't even added it together because I didn't start working until July for this healthcare insurance, and that's why I'd canceled it. One of the reasons last year, I knew I was not going to be able to make the amount that you have to make. That it's not about the money, it's about, oh my goodness, there she is again. What is it? I mean, come on. Oh, she's everywhere. But anyway, so I wasn't going to make it the amount, so I just canceled it, and then it looks like I'll probably have to pay it back. So I wanted to have professionals do it. And then I started reading the reviews yesterday. I made the appointment maybe last week, and read the reviews. Woke up in the middle of the night, and I had read the reviews before. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, whenever. And said, that they're not saying good things. I believe those reviews. Don't let anybody tell you no. Well, okay, I don't give anybody advice either way. But I'm telling myself that. Don't let anybody try to convince you that those reviews are just, anybody can do that. because my experience, especially in healthcare, my experience is that whatever I have read of review, if I go afterwards and read reviews or before read reviews, I will experience at least one of the reviews, and it's usually all of them about a healthcare provider, the place, the whatever. And the bad ones, I experienced it myself, so I believe them. Now, I know, of course, I'm not stupid. I know there are exceptions to rules, but that's my rule for me, and I'm not telling anybody else what to do. Not even suggesting it. But anyway, so anyway, last night, once again, I wake up. I actually went to bed early, which is unusual for me. And I got up in the middle of the night and couldn't go back to sleep, like 2:30 or something. And so I got online and I started looking more, reading more about how to file myself. And so, I'm not going to pay what could, because I had also looked at what some places will charge, because they're, like Adam says, they're not going to give you any idea of what they're going to charge you. I'm not new to this world. My degrees are in psychology and sociology. Sociology especially, yeah. Hello. I'm not new to this world at all. And so anyway, I kept reading. I mean, I knew this kind of stuff because we had actually been to that place years and years ago, decades ago. And we both, I remember we both had really negative view of that place decades ago. Yeah, did I say decades ago? Yeah. And but one, can you really judge by one? Well, maybe so. So I started reading what others and this and that, and trying to get a ballpark. And I said, they're going to charge me more. I've already said this before now, because I'm not new to this world. Charge me more than I probably earned just to file these taxes, because I mean, some of them it's like they say that some of them charge you per form or whatever, and the other one, and some charge you per hour, and it's so ridiculous. And some do both, and I'm like, this some and maybe and if, and and then so today I decided I'm just when I woke up in the middle of the night, I'm just gonna do it myself. Because if I'm gonna have to pay some kind of fee or whatever, I don't want to be paying it to them. Plus, they might screw it up, because one of the the first one I read was about how that place had screwed up this person's taxes. So, and they owed $1,200, and then they wouldn't do anything, even though they screwed it up. So, and I'm like, if I'm gonna pay some kind of, screwed it up, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to screw it up and pay it, the IRS, okay? Not some place to fix something that they're not going to fix. Yeah, they're not going to do anything about. Anyway, so after all that, I had to, when I was working on those taxes, I had to take my doctor-prescribed medications for anxiety. It's 2 different ones, and they're both PRN, as needed. And yes, I do have asked. Here I am saying I don't want to talk about medical, but get this video done. And I still need to vent. But I took those, and then after that I was fine. But my blood pressure, while I was working on them after I tested it, was just like the other day when I was working on it. It gets way too high. Stress does it to me. My health condition is due to too much stress, basically. My original one, the rare one, even is. So I have to really watch it. And of course, I didn't do my taxes. I didn't even write out the forms. But I look at the forms, and it even says online. It says a lot of people get this person or that person to, this place or that kind of person or this, that, and the other to do these. And the cost that I kept seeing on so many different sites, which I don't really believe what I see on the internet, but just so many different ones, and I'm like, and I also looked on IRS, .gov, and read a lot of stuff. Like, it's so ridiculous, like Adam had said, people who make a whole lot of money, whole lot of money go there. But he was also, because it's forms neither one of us have ever had to use, But anyway, So after all that, my brain kind of chilled a little bit. You know? So anyway, about the appointment now, here's the thing about the appointment that I had for today, is I did the appointment, made the appointment online a week or two ago, and whenever it was, and they sent me a text yesterday, saying, here's your appointment, if you have any problem, do this and that. And so way in the middle of the night last night, I did try to do this to cancel it, which is where it should go to, and it said, to click this, and I clicked that, and it says, goes to their site and says, click this, and I click that. It says you don't have any appointment. So I go back and do it all over again. Click this, click that, click this, click that, that kind of thing. Nope, no appointment. And I thought was, and I'm gonna let them do my taxes. So since then they've been calling me. I think it was probably the same person called me twice, 2 different phone numbers, and texted me. Yeah, they probably thought sucker born any minute. A sucker is born every minute. They must have thought I was going to be one, but I didn't send anything in. So they want you to send in. Well, I want to do it in person because I don't want to send anything through my papers through the internet, because I'm a victim of identity theft, and I know better. I don't want to send anything. It seems so common to people, and then you have people say, well, their site is this. Well, I don't care about their site. I'm thinking mine. Would that protect mine? If I put through mine, you see, I mean, it's just how this genius brain thinks. And I'm going to think that way. What are my degrees in? Yeah. And I'm taught at college and university. I'm not going to just say, oh, they say that, and so therefore it is. No. And I could worry about theirs, mine together, whatever. Nope, I want it in person. Doesn't mean I want to go sit in my computer and try to find ways to get this to go through that, to that, or for my phone, or to that. No, I want to be in person. I don't know why they can't understand those words. In person. Anyway. I'm wrapping this up. Talk to you on another video. Bye. Okay, I was going to go out and do some work today, but I stopped and my blood pressure was a little high. I took a little PRN medication for it after I called Adam and said, does it say I write them all down on a composition book, each day and stuff like that? I said, does it say that I took one since I was up at I think he said it was right at 4 o'clock this morning. I took one. And for blood pressure, one of those little PRN for blood pressure that I take, doctor prescribed. And it took him a while to figure out my writing and how I do it. And it's pretty straightforward. I don't know why he had a time with it, but yeah. And so I said, I'm just going to go buy the groceries. What I wanted to do, I was going to do anyway, and do that and go home. So I've been stressed out lately. So I'm going to go in there and probably take some videos. And that relaxes me. I don't know. I've been doing it for August of this year will be 10 years. And it always has relaxed me, just go and take videos of stuff. Of course, if they say, you can't do that, that doesn't. I haven't had that, except for one place, I think. Maybe not even one place. So, no. I have to think about it. 10 years, It's a whole decade. Anyway. Okay, I just went in to the grocery store. It's a Kroger over here. And I haven't been there in a long, long time. I think one time in, I don't know, maybe a year. I don't know. But I was out in this area anyway. But I have a question. How about this? I know probably either you've heard me ask it or other people ask it. And that is about when you go to check out, okay, how do you feel when there are no cashiers? I mean, there are a lot of reasons why people like it and a lot of reasons people don't like it. And this one, they always, anytime I've ever been here, I mean, like I said, I haven't been here that long, but they always have. Actually, I would say I've been more than just once past year or so, but not very often. But anytime I've ever been in there, they've had cashiers. At one. Usually it's one, and sometimes one in the fast lane, the speedy lane. But now another store, not Kroger, it's not Kroger. I go to, they don't have any in that one location. No cashiers ever open. They don't have any cashier registers, but they have one where they have the cigarettes, and it's a more of a what is it called? You know, for the customer service area. And you can ask them, but they, in my experience, is they act like they're disgruntled. You know, like you are bothering them. You know, I mean, that's not good, because a lot of people are disabled and need help. Now, me, I just don't work for these stores, so yeah, if you're going to ask those kinds of prices, I have an attitude. I'm not working for these stores. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I have, of course, you know, here and there, and but really, my thing is no. I want old-fashioned way, and the old-fashioned way isn't even the old-fashioned way anymore. You know, but I don't know. I have more than one reason, and one of them is, like, when I was really bad off last year, went to the ER 3 times and all that, you know, with a stomach problem, I don't know. And after that, lifting things, putting things inside my shopping cart, no problem. But lifting heavy things out of my shopping cart was a problem. And after that, I got even more you know, firm in my view that I don't want to do that, okay, because I still have a little bit of a problem. But it made me think about, well, why are we doing that? I mean, it's not helping us. I mean, like I said, some people, they don't want to be around other people. They don't want to have to socialize with, like, a cashier, or they, you know, have anxiety, panic. I have panic disorder, but it doesn't really happen anymore once I got on medication for diabetes years ago. And but some people, sometimes, you know, people don't want to be around other people for various reasons. They just want to do their own groceries and get the heck out of Dodge. No problem. I don't have a problem with what people think. Why would they have a problem with what I think? You know? Now, if somebody's being a real jerk, and yeah, some could say, well, you're being a real jerk. No, not really. This is my preference. And my health condition as it is, I'm not going to do it. But what I do want to say is, when the cashier has an issue, that's not good. There are some people, I've seen plenty of people, you know, who are in, I was back last year, I actually had one of those, used one of those shopping carts, motorized shopping carts, and one died on me right in the middle of shopping. Well, it finally started back up, but yeah, you know, some people, they have to. And so they shouldn't, you know, go to the register and have an attitude problem. You know, meet with an attitude problem from the cashier. Now, there's another place, and they don't have any either. I had to think about that. But I think they don't. Maybe they have a few. And they're real nice and sweet. They don't ask questions. They don't give an attitude problem, you know, because you want somebody to do your groceries. Some would say, oh, you got a high sense of entitlement. No, the store has a high sense of entitlement. Seriously, don't get caught in that. It's always been, up until more recent years, that you go to the store and there's a cashier there. Now it's flipped. Don't flip along with it. I mean, I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just talking. I say you just because, you know, that's how I do it. So I'm not giving anybody any advice, no suggestions, no nothing. No, don't believe me. You know, don't listen to me like I'm a voice of authority, even though I am. My degrees are in psychology and sociology. I taught at College University. Yeah, you know, my view, personally, I could be wrong. I have a shirt on that says, I may be wrong, and then the line underneath it says, but it's highly unlikely. And I got that. You know why? I bought the shirts from, it's not sponsored, TEMU.com. Some call it Temu, some call it Temu. The commercials I've heard, Temu. But anyway, I bought this shirt because so many people think that they know so much more than I do, you know, in my fields, and they've never even taken one class. And that's kind of like Psych 101 and Psych 101, I mean, Soc 101, sociology. But yeah, they know better. It's so much like, really? Even the ones who know, they know better. And your degree is in what? Degree is something involving just math. I started off as a math and computer science major, by the way. So, but I wanted something more challenging. Seriously. So I chose psychology, and then I added sociology later on. But anyway, you know, I have a question. I have that question. I always wonder, why, you know, why would you or wouldn't you want to do it? Personally, like I said, I have more than one reason, you know, but still, I mean, I don't want to be met with, you know, somebody who's a cashier who's going to have an attitude. And it happened recently, by the way. Again, it's probably a month ago. And she was just rude, and all she was doing was standing there, just standing there. Like she was lost in another world. She's probably in her 30s, I'd say. And like she was lost in some other world, and she just had a major attitude. When I asked her, okay, I can, you know, what are you doing? And then some guy walked up, started talking to her, and she just, you know, practically shoved the receipt in my hand. And I said, "You're welcome," and walked off. I always do that whenever they're rude. They don't have the common courtesy. They don't really have customer service skills. They don't say thank you. You know, I can shop elsewhere, which I've done since then. So I just say, "You're welcome," like they care. You know, like they would even understand the sarcasm behind it. Anyway, wrapping up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.